Will YouTube's new copyright policy lead us creators to get more copyright strikes and abandon the fair use doctrine, or will it help us actually see what is being copyright claimed on our videos? I'm Corzine, your social media lawyer, and today we're going to jump into the new YouTube copyright policy. All right, let's hit this. There are two ways to get a copyright claim or a copyright strike on YouTube. The first way is through Content ID, and the second way is through a manual claim. Content ID happens when you upload your videos to YouTube. YouTube's computers scan your videos and determine whether or not, from a database compiled by other copyright holders, your content matches copyrighted content. If so, if your content in your video, audio, or visual content matches the database, then there is a copyright claim created or potentially a copyright strike. A manual claim is different. Special people who have demonstrated their ability to use YouTube's copyright system and also who could contribute to the copyright holder database have the ability to go into YouTube, do a search, find copyrighted content, find content that they allege is copyrighted, and then be able to make a copyright claim. They make manual claims by going into the manual claim page, I'll put a link in the description section below, and then searching with keywords for content that they allegedly own. If the copyright holder using the manual claim system finds content that he or she allegedly owns, then they can make a copyright claim, which would entitle them to share or take all revenue from your video, or they can issue a takedown notice, which would require YouTube to take down your video and possibly result in a copyright claim, or worse, a copyright strike. In the olden days, that is before yesterday, manual claimers, copyright holders, were not required to identify where in your video the alleged copyrighted content was. This was a big problem for creators like you and me because we'd go into our creator studio, we'd see the copyright claim by a big corporation, and in our 20-minute video, we could not find copyrighted content. You may remember that this happened to Mr. Beast in February of 2019. He made a video about putting 100 million Orbeez in his friend's backyard, and during the video, his squad sang the lyrics to "Livin' on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi. They just sang it. There was no music behind, there was no beat, there was no copyrighted content other than them repeating the lyrics to the Bon Jovi song. That is a big deal because as of today, there are 62 million views of this Mr. Beast video, and some large corporation representing Bon Jovi made a claim and gets all that ad revenue merely because a bunch of goofy kids sang the lyrics to "Livin' on a Prayer." But under new rules announced yesterday, all copyright holders who are going to issue manual claims must identify the timestamps, that is the in and out points, for disputed copyrighted material. They have to do this or they can't make a manual copyright claim. You may be saying, how does this help me as the creator? Yeah, it's cool to be able to have timestamps for the disputed copyrighted material, but large corporations who allegedly own this material are still taking all my ad revenue from my video. Instead of addressing this unfairness, YouTube has chosen to use the timestamps function and new tools to make it easier for us creators to get the disputed copyrighted material out of our videos faster. We'll talk about the new tools that YouTube offers us creators in a minute, but first let's address the fundamental problem with the new timestamps function. It does not address the underlying issue that all of us creators that want to be able to follow the law have, and that is a lot of times we use other people's content, other people's audio or visual content by permission or using the fair use doctrine. This timestamps function doesn't address this. A lot of times we're gonna have copyrighted content in our videos, but we're entirely legally able to have that copyrighted content in our videos. This timestamps function doesn't address the fundamental issue of fairness for YouTube creators. With these new tools and the manual claim timestamps function, I'm afraid that this is just another corporate steamroll. They're making it easier for us to get copyrighted content, allegedly copyrighted content, out of our videos. As a result, we're not going to contest as much. We're not going to use our rights under fair use to establish that we have the right to build upon other people's art. These new tools really put us creators in a position where we either remove the content, even if we have a right to use it, or we lose our paycheck. And you know this is true if you examine YouTube's new tools. So what are these new tools? First, let's look at what you can do when you actually receive a manual claim on your YouTube channel. You know you have a manual claim because you're going to receive an email from YouTube. You're also going to see an indication in the copyright section of the YouTube Creator Studio. There are 3 things you can do when you receive a manual claim on one of your videos. You can do nothing and share the revenue with the alleged copyright holder. By share, I mean they get all your money. Of course, you can dispute the claim. You do this by going into the YouTube Creator Studio, going to Copyright on the left-hand side, clicking on the video that's being claimed, and under Select Action, you click Dispute. If you dispute any manual copyright claim, then the alleged copyright holder has up to 30 days to respond. During that time, YouTube holds the money and doesn't give it to you and doesn't give it to the alleged copyright holder until the dispute is finalized. The final thing you can do when you receive a manual claim is where the new YouTube tools come into play. To avoid a manual audio copyright claim, the creator can go into the Creator Studio and go to the video that's being disputed and merely mute that audio that's being disputed as copyrighted content. For some videos that were made before yesterday, allegedly you can go into the Creator Studio and delete only the copyrighted audio, the disputed copyrighted audio from your video. Now, I've not heard a lot of success with creators trying to do this. However, if you've successfully done this, that is, take out only the copyrighted audio from your video, please let me know in the comment section below. Another tool you can use to be able to get disputed audio out of your video is using the YouTube swap function. This allows you allegedly to be able to take only the audio that's disputed as copyrighted material out of your video and swap it with music or other audio from the YouTube audio library. Now, I've tried this before and it didn't work for me, but it works for you. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, for audio and video claims, if you're trying to get rid of disputed copyrighted material from your video, YouTube says in coming weeks, they're gonna have one-click trim, which is gonna allow you to click one button in the YouTube Creator Studio and remove the video and audio automatically that's disputed by alleged copyright holder from your video. Yeah, it's gonna make it easier for you to get disputed copyrighted video and audio out of your videos quicker. But again, it does not address the underlying problem, and that is that a lot of creators use others' content by permission or using the fair use doctrine. If you want to learn more about fair use, I made a video that goes into detail about fair use on YouTube. You can watch it right here. If you're new to the channel, come join us. I would love to see you here. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, and join us on Discord. There's a link to our Discord server in the description section below. Okay, that's enough about YouTube timestamp function for today. We'll see you next time.